Welcome to the Dishmaster.
Are you serious? That's the beginning? Are we starting?
Your face was so alarmed.
What the fuck was that? And who approved it? Who's the genius producer who approved that?
Oh, that's good.
Are we ready or what?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So we're starting?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Welcome to the Dishmaster.com. This is our second podcast, second radio show. The first one, no one will ever hear because it involved a lot of shit talking about some very close personal friends, and we all decided that our friendships were more important to us than the radio show. So this radio show is going to be more pop culture driven. We're going to do a review of the latest celebrity news for the week. Have a little powwow about it with my friend T.
Hey.
Who's my number 2, also known as my Robin Quivers. Right, T?
That's right.
Not that I'm a Howard Stern psychopathic fan, but I am, in fact, that. Anyway, so there fear not, there will be personal life information inserted into this radio show.
Brace yourself.
Whoever, if you find yourself talked about, you probably deserve it. You're probably a shithead who deserves it. Not that I'm thinking of anyone in particular. All right, so hold on, let me take a sip of my drink here. It's very professional. All right, first on the list, Rob, can I get a drum roll? Wait a second. Is that sound at the end supposed to be there? Oh, wait, I should introduce Rob before we do that one more time. Rob is the co-founder of Brick and Mortar Studios, where we are broadcasting our podcast from. It's very professional here.
Very.
There's a lot of very expensive microphones that I don't deserve to be broadcasting from. Most people are at home with a dinky computer, and I am here with some very expensive equipment. Right?
Yes. Only broken one piece so far. It's fine.
Oh, don't tell him about that. He'll be very upset. We have to be very professional here. Rob's very serious. All right. First on the list. Can we do the drum roll without the thing at the end? Or is that... Wait, does it keep going until... Oh, okay. All right. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie are officially engaged.
Woo!
Very serious information.
It's a big deal.
Are we supportive of them? I'm confused about how to feel about this.
You know, I just feel like they just need to get it done already.
Well,
just if you decide to get married, just get married. It's
well,
not a big deal.
Yeah, but here's my feeling about Brad and Angelina. First of all, is there any other Hollywood couple where two of the biggest, most beautiful stars are together? Like Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes, she's a C-lister, he's an A-lister.
Yeah.
There's no other Will and Jada, he's an A-lister, she's a C-lister. There's no other
You make a good point.
Yeah, there's no other couple that is both A-listers and both gorgeous.
No, that is true.
However, I will say this about Brad Pitt. He trades up. That's his shtick, right?
And he does amazing things. They're both amazing people.
Well, fuck that, T, okay? I'm on the bad mouth. What kind of number 2 are you?
I'm stating
You're supposed to go on the train here.
Come on.
Listen,
He's
they can kiss all the babies in Africa they want and build all the houses they want in New Orleans. That's
this is a big
irrelevant
deal.
to my shit talking.
It's a big deal what they're doing here.
Yeah, but here's my point. When Brad Pitt started in the industry, remember how he was dating Juliette Lewis?
Yeah.
That was his first girlfriend. And then
did he date Gwyneth Paltrow at some
yes,
point?
then he moved on to Gwyneth Paltrow. He traded up. He was with her in the movie Seven.
Right.
Then
that poor girl in her head.
Yeah. You're going straight to hell in a handbasket. Then, after Gwyneth Paltrow, he traded up with Jennifer Aniston at the height of her career when she was in Friends.
Right, and the Rachel Bob.
By the way, I do think that was the height of her career. Not that I'm insulting Ms. Aniston, but that was like the pinnacle was when she was in Friends. It was when she was reaching her up and coming A-lister status.
I thought she became an A-lister when she became Coco's godmother, but that's just me.
You're outrageous. Thank you for that, for her ridiculous joke. Yeah, no, so he was with Jennifer Aniston, and then he traded up again when he was in Mr. and Mrs. Smith with Angelina Jolie. So he just keeps going to the next. I'm not saying this is motivation, but he keeps trading up to the next hottest, big, up-and-coming star.
It's true. And it's no secret because I've said this before. I'd bang Angelina Jolie.
It's interesting you say that. She's got a really good face, but I like my women to have a little meat on them.
No, because she'd be rough.
Let me tell you who I don't even want to know. Let me tell you who I would bang. My girl crush, Jennifer Lopez.
Oh.
You like
a little
love
donkey
her.
Booty.
Oh my God. I
Yeah.
saw her in person. I won't say where, to protect everyone's identity here.
At the Grove?
I'm like Batman. No, I saw her and I knew she was famous because she was surrounded by this insane entourage, but I only saw her from behind. And
that's all you needed to see.
Well, I was with a friend of mine and I started following her. My friend and I go, it's got to be someone famous. Let's just keep walking. So we're throwing out these guesses about who it is. And I did say this. I swear, I go, it can't be Angelina Jolie because she's got such a huge ass. And I said, there's no way. What celebrity has such a huge ass that's that famous? Because there's such an entourage. It never occurred to me. And then she turned around. It was Jennifer Lopez. And I thought, holy mother of God.
It was Jenny from the block.
Now
y'all.
I get it. She is just so beautiful. Do you see her?
Beautiful.
American Idol has just become a fiesta for Jennifer Lopez's fashion sense.
Fiesta. I like the play of
Thank
words
you.
there.
Thank you. I'll be here all night. Seriously, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, for American Idol has just taken a turn for the worse. You watch it anymore?
No.
You watch The Voice, right?
I watch The Voice.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I'll say about The Voice in comparison to American Idol is that if you cannot produce a superstar, then your show is shit.
True.
So they have, and American Idol had a few people who went by the wayside, like Taylor Hicks and Ruben Studdard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there were a few winners, Chris Allen, who went nowhere.
Yeah.
But they've produced, about 3 or 4 superstars?
Yeah.
So they have bragging rights. The Voice,
Isn't there yet.
Yeah, the first winner, Javier Colon, went nowhere.
Right.
And then none of the stars on the show went anywhere,
That's
really.
true.
They all just went by the wayside.
Yeah.
But I have a theory about why. So Nigel Lithgow is the producer of American Idol, who's freaking incredible as a producer, and he's building these storylines as the show is ongoing. Those cheesy packages that you think are ridiculous. So you become attached to the characters, to these the story behind these contestants.
You absolutely do.
So you want them to win. You go, oh, that's the guy whose wife was ill. That's the guy who, Carrie Underwood never got on a plane in her entire life, and now
But you see this season in The Voice that they're trying to do that.
A little bit.
Yeah,
I don't think
they're starting to build it up a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I see that they do is you sit and talk to the judge who mentors you.
Right.
But they don't, I mean, you don't know.
You don't know their personal background.
Right. I mean, the thing about Carrie Underwood was, she never got on a plane in her life before she went on American Idol, and then she won, and then you're attached to her.
You form an emotional attachment.
Yeah, and The Voice, it's just sort of... and also, I will say this, too, about The Voice. I went to a taping. Did I tell you about this?
No.
I went to a taping of the show, and thank you. I think you anticipated what I was about to say. Thank you, Rob, co-founder of Brick and Mortar Recording Studios. By the way, is it Recording Studios or recording?
Brick and Mortar Recording.
Brick and Mortar Recording. But
get it right.
How come people say I'm going to the studio to record my album?
Because you don't say I'm going to the recording.
But then why wouldn't you say Brick and Mortar Recording Studio? Whatever, who cares?
Yeah.
All right,
He's
fine.
telling you the cool way to say it.
No, I thought my way was cooler, but
Dishmaster.
apparently not. Oh, damn it. Now we have to edit that.
Can we edit that part?
All right. No, okay. All right, enough. You commission him for a question, and then he just goes nuts with the drops. Give him a taste of power, and the guy goes crazy. God, fuck. You're fired. No, I'm joking. What other studio would I go to? Anyway, so I went to I went to a taping of The Voice. That show, if you ever are enamored with a show and you go to a taping, it is make or break. I think you should think twice about going to see your favorite show live, because it will ruin it for you if it's not a good show to see live.
I could never go see The Amazing Race live, so.
Oh, that's true. Amazing Race. Oh man. But no, so I went to go see it, and it is just god awful boring of a show to watch live.
Oh.
It's just so boring. I mean, I went to go see the results show, but all of the contestants are not so good in person. When you see them live, you can see why they're not great performers.
Oh.
And then, the stage is really small. It just looks cheesy. The judges are phoning it in. I mean, in person, on TV, it looks different for some reason, but you could just sort of see the judges kind of, I don't want to be here. It just didn't feel like the energy was right.
Right.
And then the audience warm-up guy kind of sucked.
Oh.
And then you have to get there 6 hours early, even if you're VIP, which I'd like to say I was VIP.
Oh, excuse me, the Dishmaster.
Not that
VIP.
I'm bragging, but the Dishmaster doesn't wait in lines. However, I did wait in a line for 4 freaking hours there. If you're VIP and you're going to a show as a VIP guest, you need to be ushered in first.
Of course.
I don't understand how you sit on the sidelines and everyone else goes in, and then you go and you have to get there 3 hours before. No, I want to get there an hour before the show starts and just waltz in. Call me spoiled, but that's how it should go. I mean, I go see Bill Maher every week just because I love that show. And you
Great
think
show.
I wait in a line? F no.
Mm-mm.
Can I say fuck? I think I can say fuck, right?
It's a little inappropriate.
You think?
No, I'm just.
Oh, well, it can't be me. Hold on, let me take a sip. All right, speaking of inappropriate.
It is the Dishmaster, after all.
Anyway, so the point is, I have not actually watched The Voice since I went to the taping. It kind of ruined it for me.
That's disappointing.
Yeah, because I went to go see a taping of Jay Leno, and their audience warm-up guy is insanely good, and it just invigorates the show, and Jay Leno comes out early, and he does stand-up for the guests.
Oh, see, that's cool.
So, yeah, so you're super into it, and by the time the show starts, you feel invested in Jay Leno because he comes out and you bond with him, and he tells you that you should laugh at the monologue. He tells you, not the audience warm-up guy, and then he takes pictures with the audience members. He's very, very invested in getting the audience into his show.
That's cool.
And his pre-show monologue, the stand-up comedy he does before the show starts, is so much better than what he does on his show.
Well, I'm sure, because he can go for it before recording starts.
Yeah, because on the show, he's super vanilla.
Yeah.
But when you see him do stand-up, he's just much more edgy. He's just better.
I like that.
But anyway, back to the engagement. Isn't that where we were before this ridiculous tangent?
I think
Brad
at one
Pitt
point
and
we were.
Yeah. Let me just say this about Brangelina. I am. The one thing I hate about the engagement news is the stupid triangle that all the tabloids keep using.
Yes.
I actually saw I think it was Us Magazine, who had a picture of Jennifer Aniston's ring that Brad Pitt gave her next to Angelina's ring.
Yeah.
And it was which ring is better? It is so disgusting to me. I mean, beyond disgusting that they still drag Jennifer Aniston into this.
Yeah.
And also, as far as Jennifer Aniston goes, she got left. Do you really think it's nice and fair to just keep bringing her into this stupid love triangle?
Yeah, because all she has to say is, "Oh, remember that time Brad had an affair?"
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
really.
Yeah, leave this girl out of the triangle. It's done. It's over with. Stop comparing the two.
Yeah,
it's
just say good on you.
Yeah, it's Chelsea lately was on. I forget. I think it was Piers Morgan, but I can't remember. And they asked her something about Jennifer Aniston and the triangle because Chelsea Handler.
They're really good friends.
Yeah, they're good friends. And they said, "Has she ever talked to you or whatever about?" And Chelsea Handler said, "Of all the times the years I've known her, it's never even been brought up." Probably because Jennifer Aniston doesn't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah.
And then she has to go to freaking Walmart and see a picture of Us Magazine of the two rings side by side. Can the tabloids get more creative at this point?
Yeah. She's with a great guy. They need to just celebrate that and move on.
Oh man, that guy she's with, Justin Theroux, is so hot. Have you seen pictures of him?
Break dance on Ellen?
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
I want to have sex with him.
Right?
Yes, he is hot.
And that's what caught me off guard because I didn't even remember that he was in Charlie's Angels, and then I had to go back.
He is,
and it was a very nice treat for myself.
What I like about him is how badass he looks. Whenever you see pictures of them together, he never looks irritated by the paparazzi.
Not at all.
Just come and get me, bitches.
Exactly.
Whatever. He's super hot. And he dresses all fucking cool.
Yeah.
Man, I like him.
Right?
I like
yummy.
him for her. And she's dressing all cool now to match him.
Is.
And she said in an interview, she goes, well, I've had this jacket and these shoes forever. I'm not copying his style. And I thought, yeah, but we all know that if you're dating cool guy, you drag out your cool guy
up.
clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to impress cool guy, you're gonna. If I want to be like dainty chick, yeah, I've got dainty chick clothes. Okay, who am I kidding? I have no dainty chick clothes.
There's nothing dainty about the Dishmaster.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
The Dishmaster's not dainty.
No.
I do like cool guy though, but I'm kind of a nerd. I think I have a coolness and a nerdiness that's fighting each other to the death. What do you think?
I will concur with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you balance it well.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
But yeah, anyway, so
I wasn't joking.
So no, so I just I say death to the triangle. Good for Brangelina.
Yes.
Get married. Although they did say they weren't going to get married until gay people could get married, which I think was just a way of saying we don't want to get married. Stop asking us.
Right.
Because we know that gay people are never going to be allowed to get married. I mean, of all the minorities, they're last gay people.
Yeah.
In terms of rights. It's so outrageous. First of all, not to get on a political tangent because I'm the Dishmaster, there's very little politics on my blog, but until it becomes a federal law, I really don't care too much about the states and legalizing gay marriage.
No, listen, I remember when it was illegal for my grandparents to be married. So,
oh my God.
I think that the whole thing is absurd because you can't control who a person falls in love with.
Can we say what your grandparents are so the audience knows?
I have a black grandfather and a Jewish grandmother.
Oh, they're so cute together.
And they're amazing and fabulous. And the fact that it was ever illegal is absurd.
Yeah.
And the fact that it is illegal now is ridiculous.
Yeah. I think America is the slowest when it comes to anything relating to sex.
Yeah. And the whole thing is, how does gay marriage affect you personally? It doesn't.
It affects you if you're a homosexual in the closet and you say homosexuality is a choice because you yourself chose to have unfulfilling sex in your heterosexual relationship.
Exactly.
Anyone who says homosexuality is a choice, I go, yeah, so does that mean that you chose your sexuality? Because if it does, you're probably gay.
Yeah, sorry.
If you chose
they
to
should
be
have
straight.
the right to get divorced just like the rest of us.
Exactly. Yeah, it's ridiculous. All right, next up on our weekly Dishmaster list is a favorite news item of mine. Britney Spears allegedly has signed on to X Factor for $16 million.
Which is insane.
I guess that's a 1-year contract, $16 million.
Yeah, it must be nice. Where's my $16 million?
16 million. I mean, she's definitely. I'm a huge Britney Spears fan. Huge. Are you a Britney Spears fan?
I enjoy her.
I can't work out to anything else on the treadmill. You really take for granted workout music, right?
Yeah.
Because when you actually are running on the treadmill, you finally see what tempo things need to be at.
Yeah.
But no, huge Britney Spears fan. Very excited about this X Factor situation. I'm actually excited to see her improvise.
It's going to be good.
Because Britney never really talks ever.
No, that's why everybody's going to want to watch it. Because you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, can you picture her sitting down mentoring a group? What would she say? Every time you ask her a question in an interview, she gives like a sentence answer.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah, and then the only time you ever heard her off the cuff was when she had that insane phase where she was in meltdown mode.
She was a nut job.
I've never heard her in between at all.
No, it's gonna be interesting.
And then she, her fiance is getting the conservatorship over her.
Right.
Which, okay, let's talk about this for a second, because here's my theory on this. First of all, she's obviously sane now. So why the conservatorship? Why continue with it?
You just...
Right? I mean, there has to be a legal reason.
Yeah, like you just kind of, you got to keep a close eye on her.
No, I actually think the reason is because her insurance is predicated on the conservatorship.
Probably. So
she can't tour. This is my theory. I don't know this, but I would guess that she cannot tour or get insured unless she has a conservator. So they switched it from her dad to her fiance. So she could get insurance. That's like what they're saying about Lindsay Lohan, that she can't act in movies just because she's not she can't get insured.
Because she's a nut job as well.
Yeah, like Robert Downey Jr., they used to give him half his salary up front and the other half when he finished, until he started to prove himself in the industry that he wasn't crazy anymore, I guess. But I'm very... First, also about Britney... I hate all the new Britneys out there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a Katy Perry fan at all. I know she's not totally Britney because she writes some of her music.
Yeah, I was like, I wouldn't
Doesn't
say
she?
that she's Britney.
Brick and Mortar co-founder. Do you know if Katy Perry writes her music?
No, I believe it's... I believe Dr. John does a lot of it, but I'm not really sure. I'm not a fan either. So.
All right. Well, I think she writes some of it. No, there's a chick who writes all her music.
I like to work out to her stuff.
Katy Perry?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan at all.
Last Friday night, 80s throwback.
First of all, what is Katy Perry? I'm confused. Like, is she supposed to be Britney Spears? Is that drop ever gonna end?
I don't know if she is supposed to be Britney Spears.
Because she walks around... she wears those latex dresses and stuff, and then sometimes she dresses normally. Like, I have absolutely no idea what her identity is supposed to be. Right?
Yeah. No, I don't know.
She wears these like weird unitards and stuff, but Britney Spears' whole shtick was that she was hot.
Yeah.
That's why that's how she started.
Yeah.
And then you've got Lady Gaga, who I fucking hate. Are you a Lady Gaga fan?
I'm always intrigued by her.
I don't get it. I think she's a weirdo. I'm not into this performance art bullshit.
She's got that Europop thing. Like,
yeah.
You know, I mean, if you're not into that kind of thing, then no, it's not going to be your shtick.
Yeah, but I think she's inauthentic. I think, like, for example, David Bowie did all that shit,
right.
like, which is her idol inspiration.
Right.
I don't think David Bowie was inauthentic. I don't think David Bowie, like, sat in a room and said, how can I get a ton of attention? Let me, invent a character and put glitter on my face.
But I don't think she's trying to do it for the sake of attention. I think she's just being herself.
No way.
She's like, why the fuck not?
No, because she started in the industry as Stephanie Germanotta, I think is her last name.
Yeah, something like that.
And she didn't make it. She tried to make it on her music alone, and she didn't. So in my opinion, she went back to the drawing board and she said, let me dress like a weirdo and I'll get the attention. I mean, listen, there's nothing wrong with selling your soul. I'm not against it at all. I really am not. I mean, if you look at Christina Aguilera. She came into the business as a Pop-Tart and then released that Dirty album, and everybody was like, wait, first of all, you can sing, and second of all, you're a whore. I mean, it was very surprising.
That's true.
But no, I don't get it. I think she's inauthentic, and I see her in these interviews where she like, I saw her with Barbara Walters, and she said, very seriously, and by the way, dressed up as Barbara Walters on purpose because she thought it would be funny. Yeah. She was so serious, and she said, the most hurtful thing people say about me is that I'm inauthentic. And I thought, well, you fucking are inauthentic. It's ridiculous. Didn't she show up to an award show in a fucking egg? I mean, look.
Yeah, that was weird.
Listen.
That was the craziest thing I had ever seen.
Look, I get it. Like, clearly you're not trying to be 100% serious if you're going to show up in an egg, but then don't fucking sit down with Barbara Walters in an interview and talk about how you take your music seriously. It just, I don't get, it's ridiculous. And plus, obviously. And plus the fact, I don't like her music that much. So I hate Lady Gaga is really what was happening in that conversation. I feel bad about saying it because she seems relatively nice, but I find she was on Howard Stern. Did you hear that interview?
No.
It was horrible. I mean, I love Howard Stern, obviously, but
Right.
man, she was so fucking boring and like took everything so seriously. I wasn't into it at all. And his whole shtick is honesty with his guests, and I just thought it was. But yeah, and then the Barbara Walters interview. Speaking of Barbara Walters, can we just talk about my love for her for a second?
Sure.
Okay, so I'm like a massively obsessed Barbara Walters fan.
Yes.
So have you heard about this Miss Universe thing with the transgendered? Wait, so transgendered means you've changed your genitalia, right?
Right.
Okay. So if I have my facts right, which I'm actually the worst Dishmaster because I'm not even sure, but I think they found out that she was transgendered and Trump like eliminated her for the competition and then let her back in or some crap like that, right?
Yeah.
So I think now she's back in. So she was on Barbara Walters talking about it. Have you seen what she looks like?
No. What does she look like?
She's gorgeous. She looks like a really gorgeous woman.
Yeah.
So by the way, who are we texting?
It's Nunya. I am completely engaged in this conversation.
It's very distracting. This is very professional.
I am engaged to you. And
T-Money.
That is what matters.
Engaged? Like, are we getting married?
Yeah.
I think that's a good
Congratulations,
idea.
America.
Can I marry you on Facebook so everyone thinks that I have gone gay? I'm not against it.
You're not against it?
No.
Yeah, see?
I like using Facebook to promote faux relationships.
I noticed.
Yeah. I've been doing that quite often lately. I figure why not? It's so ridiculous anyway. Anyway, so yeah, no, the transgendered contestant is gorgeous. But here's my feeling about it. So you have to have a line in the sand about when you can compete in a gender-based competition, right?
Right.
So then what is the line? If you are considered legally a woman, then that's the line. I don't know, because the line before was you have to be born a woman in order to compete in the competition.
Right, because didn't somebody get a medal taken away from them in the Olympics?
Because they were not born.
They were not born a woman.
Yeah, but so, right, I don't know, but I don't know.
They were a Ken and a Barbie.
So what's the line though? Like, so what's the rule? If you have a sex change, I mean, because then I say, well, what if you don't have a sex change? You're a transvestite and you want to compete, but you consider yourself a woman. Should you be allowed to compete? Because you still feel that you're in the wrong body. You dress up as a woman, but let's say you don't have the money or the physical ability to convert physically. Is it fair then? So now a transgendered person can be there, but a transvestite can't?
I would say so, because some of those people are freaking beautiful.
Well, yeah, but here's what I'm saying. Either eliminate the line completely,
right,
or say born a woman.
Yeah.
Because my feeling on it is then, so anyone who dresses up as a woman then can join the competition. I mean, I know it's controversial to say, but I don't think it's fair to say, well, because you had a sex change, now it's
fair game.
Yeah, now but if you dress up as a woman and still consider yourself a woman, then you can't compete. That's not a fair line. What's the line?
Right.
It just seems so complicated.
It is really complicated. In today's world, things are far too complicated.
Yeah, well then it's like, first of all, Miss Universe as a competition is ludicrous anyway.
Yeah.
But then don't have the gender barrier at all then. I mean, I don't know. I just don't know what the line in the sand is about that.
It's a tricky thing now.
But she was on The View with Gloria Allred, who's just a blood-sucking maggot. But aside from that, Gloria Allred was bad-mouthing Donald Trump, and Donald Trump and Barbara Walters are good friends. So Barbara put the kibosh on the Donald bashing right away and said, why does this have to be a war with Donald Trump? Why can't it just be about the fact that he let her in the competition now? And that's the end of it. Because Gloria was going on and on with her Donald bashing.
Yeah.
But anyway.
It's easy to do with him.
I am one day I will meet Barbara Walters and we will have coffee together because I love her so much. She had Shannon Doherty on the show, and Shannon was promoting her new reality show that she's doing with her husband.
Yeah.
By the way, they showed a clip of Shannon and her husband arguing about how he wanted to compete in some game, like some sport or something.
Yeah.
And she didn't want him to for whatever reason. And she was yelling at him about it, like such a cunty bitch about it.
Yeah.
No, you're not. Call them and tell them if they can replace me on 90210, then they can replace you in that game. And I thought,
God,
how do these cunty bitches find men to marry them? Right? I'm like the fucking easiest person to deal with ever after watching that clip.
Okay. Let's not exaggerate here, all right?
What? That's so easy.
Enough of that.
Damn it.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking low maintenance.
Okay.
Listen, obviously I want you to text
Let's
me
calm
within
down.
15 seconds after you receive my text. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. 15 seconds and then text me back. What are you doing that you can't text back within 15 seconds? Right? Oh, so irritating.
Calm
3 hours.
down.
And by the way,
Let's
here's
do a
my
little
rule.
woo-saw
Here's
action
my
here.
rule. If you take more than 5 hours to respond to a text and then in your response you don't acknowledge the delay, you're an asshole, right? That's the rule.
So you're saying I'm an asshole? You're calling me an asshole
You?
on air right now?
No, you always reply to me
That's true.
right away.
Do I? Right away? Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, and if not, you go, I'm sorry I missed your text. I was blah, 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 right?
It's true.
I mean, it's ridiculous. Anyway, so
Just rude, people.
So I watched that clip, and then Shannon Doherty comes out, and of course she's got that embarrassed looking face because she knows they just showed a clip of her looking like a total cunt.
Yeah.
And then she said, and by the way, audience, no, I'm not afraid to use the word cunt. I know that probably offends some people,
C-bomb.
but I'm okay with it. And if you're not, I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, so she comes out, and then Barbara Walters, she immediately says, so Shannon, you've been married. This is your third marriage.
Third time's the charm?
Your first marriage was to Ashley Hamilton, George Hamilton's son, and your second marriage is to Rick Solomon, whose claim to fame is fucking Paris Hilton and putting the video on the internet, which made Paris famous.
Winning.
And then Shannon gives her this look like she's going to rip her throat out and kill her. and then Shannon says, I love you for doing that. That was really great. And then Barbara said, well, it is the news. I have to say it. And then Shannon, Barbara's the Queen of England in my impression. And then Shannon says, no, it's fine. And then Barbara says, well, what's the secret now? It's your third marriage. And then Shannon says, well, you should know the person. And I thought, well, that's a revelation.
Yeah.
And also not be a total bitch.
Yeah, right.
So then Barbara says, she says, so are you going to come back on the show after your divorce? And
Oh, wow.
and then Shannon
Babs is
says,
just going for it.
and then Shannon, she goes, I'm not getting divorced. Why are you being so mean to me today? And then Barbara sort of laughs and says, I'm just saying, and then they cut to commercial and you see Barbara hugging Shannon, clearly, laughing and saying she's sorry.
Yeah.
But I just think Barbara's had it. Like, there's been so many people who come on the show talking about how happily married they are and then they get divorced and
Yes.
Barbara's just done with it.
Yeah.
And
she's at the point of her life where she's old enough to say, listen, we're going to cut the bullshit in this conversation. And I'm just going to tell you like it is.
Well, have you ever seen, I always say that The View, Barbara Walters is the Queen of England at a petting zoo.
Yes.
I mean, those ladies of The View are so outrageous.
Yeah.
And Barbara Walters just reins them in, you know?
And I love the way she handles Elizabeth.
Oh,
when she
yeah.
starts getting crazy.
Did you ever see the episode where they were talking about the morning after pill and how it was going to go into, CVS or whatever over the counter? And Elizabeth said, well, I believe it's an abortion and it's wrong, whatever.
She's a fucking idiot.
Well, let's not get political here on the
Not
Dishmaster.
political.
All right.
Saying she's
So
a
anyway,
fucking
so
idiot.
she said the morning after pill is an abortion, whatever. And so then, but here's the point. She then gets so nuts and starts like yelling about it. And then Barbara says, Elizabeth, you have to calm down. and then Elizabeth, whose face is, but here's the deal. As soon as Barbara said that, it was as if Elizabeth deflated like a balloon.
Yeah.
Because she knew that the Queen of England had just given her a talking to.
Yeah.
Just really gave her a tongue lashing. All she had to do was say, Elizabeth, you have to calm down. And then Elizabeth took her flashcards and ripped them in half out of anger and then threw them on the table. And then they cut to commercial.
She's such a child.
And then Barbara, in the next segment, was on the couch with her, because obviously the next segment was on a couch. And Barbara had her arm around her and she was hugging her. And clearly Elizabeth had been crying because her face was all red and puffy. And she said, "Here at The View, we welcome other
Opposing
opinions,
views,
and we just don't want to get so upset that we." It's like Barbara Walters has interviewed dictators that have like killed people,
millions of people.
Yeah, and never ever loses her cool.
No.
I mean, she just goes, "Aren't you a murderer?" You know? Haven't you killed people? Her job is to get the information out and be done with it. And then you have someone like Elizabeth whose head is about to explode.
Yeah.
Or you have like, did you see the one where Bill O'Reilly walked?
Yes.
Where Whoopi and Joy walked off.
Yeah.
He's like, get your act together, people.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. Like, they were hot-headed. Elizabeth is the one who's the worst, who becomes...
Oh, she's terrible.
She also asks really long questions. I don't know if you've noticed this. She'll go, be someone, like, you're Rihanna. Okay, let's just say.
I'm Riri.
So Rihanna, so I know that you came out with another album, and I'm wondering about this album. Do you feel that the album is something different from the last thing that you did, or do you feel that it's and like 50 minutes later, Rihanna's like, yeah, it's good. I mean, and it's like, Elizabeth, shut the fuck up. Man.
She has to have her opinion heard.
Although I don't think Rihanna's ever been on The View, but that's neither here nor there. As my philosophy teacher once told me. I said something that I thought was a really good point. And she goes, "That's neither here nor there." And I thought, fuck you.
Wow.
It's
Rude.
neither here nor there. Now I say that all the time to dismiss people. It's like the best insult ever when somebody is like a hothead and you go, "That's neither here nor there."
So don't ever say that to me then.
Yeah. Anyway. Next on our news list, you see Gautier on SNL.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Loved
What'd you
it.
think?
I loved it.
Can we talk about Gautier for a second?
Do it.
First of all, as you know, I don't like skinny guys.
Mm-hmm.
He's really skinny, right?
He is really skinny.
He's not like, he like looks really disheveled.
He's like tall and lanky.
But I think that's what makes him perfect for that Somebody I Used to Know song, because the whole song is about how he got left.
Yep.
And his whole look is that of a man who's an average looking Joe Blow.
Yeah. You didn't have to cut him off, whoever you are.
Well, yeah. And then in walks Kimbra, who's so fucking hot. It's like, you fucked Kimbra? Like,
Exactly. I'm like, is that what's going on here?
Yeah, you're like, Kimber's fucking gorgeous. And Gautier, I mean, look, I like Gautier, but can someone blow out his hair or something? I mean, don't you think he looked a little disheveled to be on SNL?
But that's his
shtick.
shtick. That's his thing.
I guess.
You gotta just embrace it.
Yeah, I guess. I will say this, though, about Gautier. I anticipate that this is the beginning and the end of his career.
Yes.
I mean, I hate to say it because I think it's great that he's got this stellar song. But if you do not think ahead in the midst of your superstardom, in that you are potentially a one-hit wonder, you're fucked.
Yep.
I mean, you remember that song, that Standing Outside the Broken Phone Booth song? You might not remember it. It was like, Rob, do you remember that? All right. There's a song of damn it, I wish I knew the name of the band. Next podcast I'll tell you the name of the band, but it was literally one song. It was gigantic for a long time, and then no one ever heard from the band again. The thing is, at the height of your success, if you're only promoting this one song to the point where you're so overexposed, that's it.
Yeah.
That's what makes you a one-hit wonder.
Yep.
And it's not that you're a one-hit wonder, like I said, because you've only written one good song. It's because you overexpose that song to such a great length that no one will listen to your other material.
That's true.
You have to pull back.
Yeah. You gotta reel it in.
And have you heard the rest of the album?
No.
It's weird. It's not. It's good, but it's not anywhere near the.
It's not mainstream.
No, and the other thing about Gautier is the video that he did for Somebody I Used to Know, I think, is what made the song so massively gigantic, because it's such a cool video.
Yeah.
He has a song, what is it called, like Eyes Wide Shut or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah, it's really good, and the video is really good too. So but
State of the Art's really good too.
Really?
Oh yeah, I love State of the Art. I think it's awesome. The video is really cool. It's all animated.
Huh. Thank you, Brick and Mortar co-founder, who is also a musician. Also a drummer, the coolest instrument in the band. Don't you agree?
He's amazing.
Don't you think the drummer's the coolest in the band?
Yes.
I always say that because it's the only instrument where I can tell what you're doing.
Yeah.
I always think guitarists are super gay, by the way, only because they all walk up to each other and play beside one another.
No, they play like up against each other.
It's
like their
I'm not,
junk is up on each other.
Listen, I'm not into that at all. It's
No.
actually one of my biggest pet peeves when you watch a band and like the guitarist goes up to the bass player and he's next to him and they're like jamming together because they're standing next to each other.
Yeah, it's weird.
I'm not into that.
And they're like leaning up against each other.
Yeah, it's like
making faces at each other.
Yeah, it's like
weird.
a way to say like, hey, yeah, you're good and I'm good and we're jamming together. But I always think it's super gay.
It is because it's like foreplay. It's weird.
It's weird, right?
Yeah.
No one ever like you never see the bass player walk up to the drummer and just do that, right?
No.
Right?
That happens to me all the time.
Really?
The bass player will come up to me, and yeah, that happens all the time.
I think it's super gay. I'm not into that. Especially because you don't see what's happening. Like you just see them walk up to each other and like smile. Like I just don't.
Yeah.
I'm not
Do you guys
into
like
it.
talk to each other? What?
No, they just walk up to one another. It's a way of being like, yeah, we're jamming together. But I'm not into it at all.
No.
I think it's
not my thing.
Anyway, so back to my original point is the drummer's the coolest guy in the band.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Congratulations, co-founder of Brick and Mortar Studios,
Who's
for
an
also
amazing
being a drummer. Yes.
Amazing.
Also, you can, like I said, you can see what the drummer's doing, so I
Yeah.
know what exact sound is being produced. Whereas
Yes.
with the guitars, like I can't tell. I mean, I can hear it, but not really because I'm not a musician. You know,
That's true.
it's not. It's supposed to be the sexiest in the band, right? The guitarist.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you have a personal favorite?
Well, it depends. I mean, you can tell when you have a good guitarist, in my opinion, and you see them kind of going at it. That's very attractive.
Yeah.
But when you have a good drummer who's just sitting there
Yeah.
being cool and then can bust out an amazing jam, like it's just
caveman. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's caveman style. It's like, let me pound this. No pun
because
intended.
you like those bears.
Yeah. Let me hit you with my drumstick and then fuck you later. What the fuck, by the way? What is the instrument that Gautier plays in the beginning of the song? That do 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 do.
That's a xylophone.
Is that hard to play?
Xylophone.
It can be. That line in particular isn't very challenging.
I could do that, don't you think?
Yes.
I thought I could do that. So what do you think? You saw Kimbra show up, right, on SNL?
Yeah, that poor girl. I thought she was kind of nervous.
What?
In my opinion.
So she didn't sound good? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I hope she doesn't sound that way when I see her.
What did our friend say? Put auto-tune on live for Kimbra or something? What was it?
Dear Kimbra, please use auto-tune.
So you can sing live and auto-tune as you're singing live? Is that how it works? So can you hear that? Like if somebody's singing and there's auto-tune and they're being auto-tuned live?
Well, don't you remember what happened to Taylor Swift at the Grammys?
Oh,
a few years ago?
Yeah,
you said her auto-tune fucked up, right? Is that what happened?
It was pretty awesome.
Wait, but you think that's what happened to her?
I mean, that's what she said, or didn't you told me that?
No, somebody else. So for the audience who doesn't know what we're talking about, Taylor Swift at the Grammys, what was it, like 2 years ago?
Yeah.
She, her voice sucked and everybody went on the news saying like Taylor Swift can't sing. And then a friend of mine told me, now I remember who it is. A friend of mine who's a musician told me that her auto-tune tanked during the performance. So she wasn't singing into a live auto-tuner and that's why her voice sucked because she can't really sing. Although in defense of Taylor Swift, who I really like, I saw this parody on her too recently. I'm gonna put it on the Dishmaster. It's so funny. I don't really know that she needs to sing, right? I mean, she's not supposed to be fucking Beyonce. I don't care. I
They're
don't
not
care.
looking for her to be Beyonce, but I mean,
You think she has to hold a tune?
Just, be able to carry a fucking tune.
What about Britney Spears?
Britney Spears is a pop singer.
You don't think it's necessary?
No, you expect her to entertain you.
Yeah, I guess.
She's an entertainer. She's not a vocalist.
So you're not a Taylor Swift fan, I take it.
Listen, I like Taylor Swift stuff because it's like poppy and it's cute and it's fun. And she wants to do pop country and that's fine. But don't come out and make yourself sound like something that you're not. You write great lyrics and you're great at entertaining. And that apply to teenagers going through that angsty love and all of that stuff. But she's not like a singer. She's not gonna come out there and be like, I'm a
But I don't think she pretends to be a singer though.
In the beginning she kind of did.
You think?
In the beginning she did.
I think look at Carole King. She can't really sing.
No.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
Because she writes the music.
But she owned it. She never professed herself to be a vocalist.
And you think Taylor Swift did?
She came out in the beginning saying she wanted to be a singer. Yeah. She's an entertainer. And that's
I
right.
like her.
Yeah, so do I. Like, I think her stuff is great. But I'm saying, like, now she's owned who she is. Like, I am a pop country artist. That is who I am.
Right. That's true. I love her song 15. I love all her cheesy love songs about liking the boy who doesn't like you back and don't you know I'm so much better than that girl. What's that video she did where she's like in high school and the boy likes another girl and Taylor Swift's pining for him and says, I'm cooler than your girlfriend, basically.
Yeah, I don't know.
I love those unrequited
the unrequited love story.
Not that I can relate to that on any level whatsoever.
You have no idea what that's like.
Not that I've ever liked a boy who doesn't like me back.
I've never experienced that. So it's weird.
No one has any idea who I'm talking about. Moving on.
You have to be inside the dish.
Yeah, you have to. That sounded sexual. The boy in question has not been inside the Dishmaster. Oh man. Oh, woe is me. All right. Have you seen the promos for The Bachelorette?
Yes.
With Emily Maynard?
Yes.
Do we like her? What? Can I just say a couple things about her? So I don't know why this drives me nuts, but her teeth are really fucking white.
Yeah, she has really big teeth for a tiny head.
Those are caps, right?
I'm assuming so.
Veneers, maybe?
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming.
They have to be.
Yeah, because they're huge.
They're huge, and that is not okay. When you get your teeth done, you cannot make them whiter than what a natural tooth shade should be.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. They look like chiclets.
Yeah, it's weird.
They're way too white.
Yeah.
But did you like her on the season with Brad?
No, like, I mean, I thought she was kind of being inauthentic. Like, because she wasn't completely comfortable in front of the camera.
That's true.
And she wasn't being her true self.
Well, because if you saw the reunion show, one of the things she was saying was, no, Brad said little Emily can be tough, you know, and that they fight all the time and their fights are drag out,
and that was the
knockdown.
thing, because I was like, yeah, she's a Southern Belle who is going to be intense because she's protecting her daughter. Yeah.
But I wonder, first of all, she's fucking gorgeous and she's pretty smart from like the interviews I've seen of her.
Yeah.
And I like that. I like that she never badmouths Brad.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
She just said it didn't work out, which I always respect when people talk about their exes that way.
But listen, anybody that goes on a reality show like that to find a man, you're a little crazy.
Well, you know, I saw an interview with, do you remember Matt Grant, the Bachelor who was with Shane Lamas?
No.
Well, he was one of my favorites, although I have to say I saw him in person at an event out here and not attractive in person.
Really?
Well, he just looked dumpy. I mean, look, he's an attractive guy, but when left to his own devices and dressing himself,
a disaster.
Not so attractive. But anyway, so I saw an interview with him where he was talking about Shane Lamas, who he said what happens with The Bachelor is the people who make it to the end that you feel a connection with are the people who feel most comfortable in front of the camera.
Right.
Because the people who don't feel comfortable in front of the camera aren't opening up to you, and you eliminate them immediately.
Right.
And you associate it with, oh, we don't have a connection. You're closed off and you're not talking, and therefore goodbye.
Right.
And he said the people who make it further are people who aren't comfortable in front of the camera and therefore can open up to you. But he said it's fundamentally flawed because those people who are comfortable in front of the camera, their motives are questionable.
Exactly.
So meaning, like, he was saying, Shane Lamas is an actress.
Yeah.
And so she's comfortable in front of the camera. So he
Right.
said he assumed that meant that they had a connection.
Yeah.
But really, if you're comfortable in front of the camera, you have a motivation other than finding love.
Exactly.
You want to be on television.
Yeah, and The Bachelor does a brilliant job with making it a perfect storm. They
Yeah.
feed them tons of alcohol and make sure
Yeah.
that they don't get any sleep.
Oh, yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
It's
like,
hours.
They're staying up until 4 in the morning,
Totally.
and then having to get up at 8.
Well,
You
do you
know?
remember Charlie O'Connell?
Yeah,
He's Jerry O'Connell's brother.
right.
And I saw an interview with Jerry O'Connell where he was, I think he was on Adam Carolla's podcast, and he said that the episode where his significant other met Charlie's parents, they kept them in a room and did not feed them and kept getting them drunk. And
Yeah.
they kept stopping the production and saying, you're boring to
Yeah.
his parents.
Yeah.
And he said it was just such an awful experience. Like he just was floored by how rude they were to his parents.
Oh, yeah, because they're doing it for the sake of viewership, not...
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And so it's like, that's the part that you have to kind of keep in mind, where that's why I look at it as just what it is. It's pure entertainment. But the reality is they're not going to find love on this show. It's just something fun to talk about.
Yeah.
It's something fun to dish about later.
Well, and also I think when you're put in those conditions, you always, all the girls, that show is so sexist in so many ways.
Yeah.
Like, these women, you put a bunch of women in a room fighting for a man, and all the gender stereotypes about how awful women are
come out.
Yeah, completely. And like, they go into the camera and they go, I thought I would get married. It's like, not every woman wants to fucking settle down and get married. Like a lunatic, desperate housewife
Exactly.
nut job.
And there's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't make you a crazy person.
Yeah, and then you... Yeah, well, then they go on these dates, and if you put, I think it's partially just the environment. Like, if you put a woman on a romantic date with roses and champagne and flowers,
Yeah.
and there's flirtation happening, they're gonna think there's a connection.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not real life. In real life, you wouldn't be on the romantic date
Yeah.
if there was no connection initially.
Exactly.
So I just think that the way it's set up lends itself to exposing like the worst, because if you put a bunch of guys in a room, like, you can get all the caveman stereotypes too.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, but that's what you see on The Bachelorette.
Right.
Like, I mean, you see it go both ways. And that's why I say that those producers, kudos to them.
Yeah.
Because they're brilliant.
Yeah.
At making good, insane reality television.
Yeah, it's true.
They're brilliant at it.
But they're the way they edit some of those people. I mean, I know that, when you on a reality show, you sort of ask for it, but and everyone goes, well, but that's how you acted. Not really. Like, if you were to film somebody for 24 hours a day and only show their worst moments, then of course you're going to think they're a terrible
one way. Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to see them as a or if you have a fight with someone on camera and then you go up to them afterwards and you say, I'm having a hard time because my grandma just died or whatever.
Right.
And then you don't show that apology. Of course, you're going to edit them into looking like a total fucking lunatic.
Of course. Of course.
But every once in a while, there's like someone like Bentley. Remember that jackass
God,
where you're like,
God.
I don't know how you would have edited that unless you paid the guy to say those things into the camera.
Oh, I hope to see him again because you just loved to hate him.
That
it
was
great.
That was so insane. First of all, Ashley, like, what I loved about that is, I mean, it was so pathetic.
But it was
like,
hook, line, and sinker. Like, it was just so good.
Yeah, Ashley kept going into the camera and going, I can't connect to him because I feel that Bentley's the one. And then you cut to Bentley and he goes, I don't like this girl at all. I don't understand why she thinks I like her. And then she's like, but I think he's
But I'm
the
just
one
so
for
in
me.
love with him.
He's so great. You know what? I have a theory too on that. I think the guy who Bentley, you could see how he manipulated her.
Absolutely.
Like he was super quiet.
Yeah.
And the way she interpreted it was like, he's looking into my eyes.
He's looking into my soul.
He sees me.
Yeah.
That's why he
sees me for who I really am.
He's not. Yeah. We just have a connection. We don't even have to talk.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's
Bitch,
so
you're not talking
great.
because he doesn't like you.
Yeah.
Read the book. He's just not that into you.
Oh,
right?
you know what? Up until a few weeks ago, I really thought women were ridiculous like that. But due to some recent circumstances that we will go unmentioned, we will not mention. I now have more sympathy for women who obsess about men who aren't into them.
Amen.
Well, I'll have to block that person
You're
from
gonna have to
the
read
podcast.
Steve Harvey's book, Act Like a Woman, but Think Like a Man.
Yeah, I just what happened in the days where
I like that one.
that movie, by the way, is testing really well. Did you read about it?
No.
Well, they're saying that it's going to be groundbreaking because it's an all black cast, and
No, it's not. They got the white guy from Entourage.
no, that's true, but groundbreaking in that the all black cast don't do well at the box office usually. I mean, there's Tyler Perry,
Haters.
no, I know, but I'm just saying, like, statistically, they're saying that this is not the only film, but because it's an all black cast and it's appealing to like the white masses,
Right.
that there's something about it that is going to end up being like the
huge
next,
movie.
yeah, a huge movie. Because when you think about it, like, and you look at like the Tyler Perry movies, they appeal to a niche audience.
Yeah.
But this, they're saying, is going to be like a mainstream, ginormous success.
Good.
And that book too. Steve Harvey, another guy
is hilarious.
Another guy on The View, Sherry Shepherd's first husband cheated on her and
Yes.
ended up impregnating the woman
the
he
woman he was cheating with. Yeah.
But so Sherry Shepherd asked Steve Harvey what he thought about the situation while he was on the panel
Yes.
when he was promoting the book. Do you see
it was
that?
So good.
And Steve Harvey gives her this look of fear for his life.
Yeah.
And he says, I have met your first husband and I don't want to talk about this at all. This is a rabbit hole that I do not want to dive down.
He's a smart man.
But he's really funny.
He is hilarious.
Have you read the book?
I'm in the process of reading it.
Or have you started? What does that mean?
I'm like in it. I'm reading it.
Are you on like page 1?
No.
Oh.
I'm on a chapter called The Cookie.
Is that about
Code
the
for
vagina?
sex. Yes.
What does it say?
You got to give it up.
When?
When a man needs it. When you see him, men have cycles like we do.
Oh, you mean like, but when you're in a relationship?
When you're in a relationship.
What about when you're dating?
You have to meet a certain amount of days. It's like 90 days, I think he said. It's 90 days that the man has to meet.
90 days?
Yeah, which I'll be honest, as a woman, I can't hold out that long.
90 days? I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy.
No, 90 days is too much.
But he also said, a man is yours when you guys walk into a room at a party and he introduces you as his lady. This is not my friend. This is not whatever.
Just the name?
This is his girl. He's looking out for you. He's getting you drinks. He's coming back and making sure that you're okay. He's always kind of keeping an eye on you.
The greatest thing ever is when a man, it's so pathetic that my standards have lowered so much about what's nice. when a man's going to the bar to get a drink and he goes, do you want something? It's not even that you have to buy me a drink. Sometimes I just want water. Like, go get me some fucking water.
Yes.
I remember like I was friends with this group of guys and every time they went to the bar, they would just bring me back water.
Yeah.
Because they knew like I was always, I sound like a fucking camel. Like I'm like I'm dying of thirst. No, I thought that was really nice,
Yeah.
you know? Or another one of my favorites is when you walk into the room together and the guy puts his hand on your back. Yeah,
Yes.
leads you into the room.
I love that.
It's the little things.
It is.
God, I don't ask for a lot, for fuck's sake.
But that was another thing that he was saying in the book. Because some guys are cavemen, you got to give them rules. You got to let them know and say, open the goddamn door.
Yeah, I don't care about opening the door, actually.
But that's if you find that important.
Right.
And how people communicate love is different. Like, for a man, they're saying, I provide for you. This is the stuff that I give you. Like, that's me showing that I love you.
Here's my standard. When I'm in a movie theater, I always say this. When I'm in a movie theater and the lights are not going off because someone fucked up, why is it that it's always me that has to go to the fucking usher and say that? Why? And if I'm with a man and I look at the man and he's not getting up to go tell the usher, I want to murder him.
Yeah.
Why do I have to do everything?
Yeah. No,
right?
I get it.
Do something.
No, like the incident at a party that we went to a couple weeks ago and my sandal broke. There was one particular man that stepped up to the challenge.
That's true. A very
and fixed my sandal.
Bicep bulging man.
And it was fantastic.
Yeah, the other man there proclaimed himself as the idea man who came up with taping your sandal.
And just stood there.
Like
an idiot.
Yeah. Well, let's be kind and not call him an idiot.
No. That was hard.
He might listen to it. I doubt it. But
because I appreciated him later.
Right. Oh, right.
With another incident.
When you had a car situation. We should tell the audience what you did. You put your car...
Why do we need to tell them?
Oh, I thought it was funny.
Because it is funny.
Okay.
But it still bruised my ego a little bit.
You put your car in neutral and then hit the gas. But it doesn't matter that you hit the gas. The car just was on a hill and rolled into the wall. Yeah, the car was on a hill,
people. And it just... went out of control.
Yeah.
And I ran into a wall
right.
at a house.
We all screamed and the man in the car was like, whatever.
Yeah. And he was
fine.
totally calm and fine about it.
Yeah. And then he pushed the bumper back into place.
But I didn't even know he did that. And so I wanted to
Can I just say,
him.
as an aside, if you can do anything with a car, such as a bumper hanging and then push it back in, I will fuck you. Right?
It is that easy.
I mean, anything involving, I mean, we have a friend who my tires were low on air and he took me to go fill my tires with air. And I thought I might just have sex with you right now. Anything involving a car.
It might just happen.
Because it's like, it goes back to that caveman stuff of I have a problem and you just fixed it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's totally true.
Oh, man. Pushing that bumper in, right?
Yeah. And I didn't even know that he did that.
Fucker. Oh, our side man is giving us a time clock.
We're on the clock.
Well, we've got it. We're gone on for an hour.
We're doing pretty good.
I don't know. Don't you think we should just keep going? No one's listening to this thing anyway, right?
Like I said, I appreciated both gentlemen that evening. By the end of the night.
Yeah, the guy who taped your shoe, major props. The guy who pushed the bumper in, also, that was cool.
I give him props because, I felt like an asshole for scaring everybody in the car and for scaring myself.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to drive for the rest of the night. And he talked me down. And I appreciate that.
Can we, by the way, whenever we talk about him, can we only say negative things? Because it's just... It just makes it easier for me to accept that he does not want to fuck me.
Listen,
I would have
it shook my nerves.
All right,
what happened.
all right. In the future, only negative things about that specific.
But at the end of the day, you're still an asshole.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we hate you.
We hate you.
That's the only way.
You
for
are not
me
getting
to,
in the dish.
Yeah. You have not been inside the Dishmaster. Oh man, I'm gonna get so much shit from my parental units about this. I'll hear from my mom. You shouldn't say fuck on the radio.
It's amazing how much you sound like her, by the way.
Oh yeah, with the accent.
It's crazy.
Listen, when you're talking about pop culture, I don't think it's appropriate for you to talk about who you want to have sex with. That's ridiculous. What if he hears it? I mean, come on.
Oh.
Well, Mom, I have to take risks. How does that involve saying fuck? What? I said to her, I go, if you're going to read my Facebook page and my posts, then you need to be quiet. I'm not going to hear from my mother about what I write about. Like if it's a post, she'll go, what was that about, that post? Are you upset about something? You're posting very angry lately. And I'm like, Mom, if you're going to do that, just don't read it because I don't want to hear it. Like she'll wonder where I am and then she'll read the blog and then she'll go, oh, I see you were writing this afternoon. I'm like, oh man. Oh, I have to, before we close out our podcast, we have to talk about Axl Rose in the Hall of Fame. Can we please?
I'm so sick of him.
That is my favorite.
Get over yourself. That's what I have to say.
Every time I have a grudge against someone and I think I'm unhealthy for it, I think of Axl Rose and I think, at least my grudge doesn't cost me hundreds of millions of dollars.
He makes me enraged.
He is sacrificing. I would venture to guess it's close to $1 billion that he's sacrificing by not touring.
Don't get me started.
How much did U2 make on their tour? Like 600 million?
Yeah.
So if Guns N' Roses gathered up their original members and did a world tour once, they would, I mean, they probably make 500 million. They could do it twice. $1 billion.
Oh God, they would make an insane amount of money.
It's like, you know what? Make a call to Paul Simon and Art Garfunkel, who hate each other's guts and decided to tour together.
Yeah.
I heard about that tour from various inside people who participated.
Yeah.
And they told me that Paul Simon and Art Garfunkel still hate each other, that the tour was incredibly uncomfortable. And what's wrong with you?
I have to pee really
You have to
bad.
pee?
I have been holding it for like half an hour.
All right, we're almost done.
Okay.
God, you're so unprofessional. Can't you empty your bladder before the
You
podcast
asked,
starts?
okay, and I answered.
Anyway, the point of that story is Axl Rose is a big baby and
an asshole.
And an asshole. Although I don't think he should have gone to the Hall of Fame, because the first reunion, if he's ever going to do one, should be on tour where he can make money.
Yes.
Don't you agree?
I completely agree.
I like Slash, though. He's so calm. He goes,
Slash is fucking awesome.
oh, I love him. He goes, he just hates me.
Yeah. Like,
That's
it's
it.
just
He
what
fucking
it
hates
is.
me.
Yeah.
And I don't want to talk about it anymore. It just makes it worse.
Yeah.
He hates me.
Like,
Hates my guts.
And that's the thing. Being on tour, like, they still don't have to encounter each other except for when they go on stage and do interviews.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
He's just, Axl is a big baby who is protesting it on principle.
Axl, I want you to hear me.
All right.
Get your head out of your
Talk to him.
ass and go on tour.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Please, you know how much pressure he has, and that statement he released about why he's not doing it, and then he closed it out promoting his new little cover band. I like to call them a cover band because
that's what they are.
Yeah, if you're the only original member and you're singing Guns N' Roses songs, you're a cover band.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Fuck
absolutely.
that. I mean, this is Guns N' Roses, not like your stupid garage band that's playing shitty music.
Yeah, listen, it's like the same thing with Journey. I love Journey.
Oh,
but
it's not the same lead singer.
It's not the same lead singer. Like, it's just not the same.
Yeah, it's true.
No, like, and he's fantastic. No insults to him at all.
Yeah.
But it's just not the same.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, you just can't.
You can't recreate that.
Yeah, you can't call yourself by the name and not have the same people.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But with Guns N' Roses, the fact that they're all still around, it just makes it even more ridiculous.
Yeah.
But all right, we'll close out because my number 2, T Money, has to pee. So unprofessional. All right, thank you for joining our weekly. This might be weekly, depending on the reception I get. Hopefully I won't get any angry emails from the parties that recognize themselves in this.
You're all amazing
Dishmaster
people at the end of the day.
Yeah, we love you. You guys are all really
That's
great people.
the reason we talk about you.
Yes. Thank you for joining us. Tune in next week for our recap of pop culture next week. This is the Dishmaster.com broadcasting from Brick and Mortar Studios. How was that?
I have to say it differently. You said it like a joke.
Oh, this is the Dishmaster.com broadcasting